Fourth are things called alt tags. Now, alt tags started, back in the late 90s or so when people were viewing the internet. By default, when they were viewing web pages and browsers, images didn't download because internet connections were so slow. So what happened was, people had text, and then instead of an image, you had the alt text that actually showed, alternative text that showed and described what an image was about. Then people had an option of actually clicking on the image and downloading it if they actually wanted to view the image. So what alt text is used for is basically describing what an image is actually about if people can't view the image. So alt text is viewed now for, or used now for kind of blind people viewing the internet as well, because they can actually read what an image is about. But it also explains to search engines what an image is about. So if you can explain within your alt text what your image is about, and perhaps incorporate a keyword phrase in there, it's helping rank that page for that keyword phrase. Now, if I have a look at if I right-click on my logo there at the top and click Properties, you actually see that my alt text for that logo is just Destination Guide TV. I'm not over-optimizing my site. You can't actually include keyword phrases in every single area, and be, really hard-nosed about it. I'm helping search engines by saying, well, this is the Destination Guide TV logo. But what I can do is I can include relevant keyword-friendly alt tags in all these thumbnail images of the videos themselves. I can include things like country name, video, image, or perhaps the first tag name that people actually give the video as well. So alt tags are a tremendous opportunity to actually get your website ranked better. But also thinking about things like Google image search or MSN image search. People do search for images, and your images, if you have lots of images in your website and you include alt text on these images, then it's more likely that these images will actually appear on these image results for keyword phrase queries if you include the alt text on the images. So your alt tag source, this is just let you to know, you can pass this on to your coder. This is what the code looks like for including an alt tag on your image. Number 5, keyword-rich navigation. Again, kind of looking at this areas here, it's so important when it comes to actually getting your website ranked higher because it explains to search engines what your site is about. So, it helps users, but it also helps search engines a lot. Also have a look here as well on these individual pages. So in every single video page, an individual video page, I've got the title, and that's actually an H2 tag there. I've got H1 tag up here, H2 tag there, and I've got the keyword-rich navigation. That links back to every single individual country where a video is situated. So that's, really optimizing a page. It's helping users, helping search engines. Good URL format. Now, it's generally thought that URLs don't matter massively when it comes to search engine optimization. But what is a mistake is having really long URLs which are generated by databases or affiliate codes and lots of numbers and queries and question marks in there. It will confuse search engines a little bit. It's not great to have the dynamic creation of different URLs. So in other words, to have different URLs depending on the user to track users. You can track users in different manners apart from changing the URL. The best format for the URL is just keeping it as simple as possible, explaining what the subject on the page is about, and making it more likely for users to actually pass that specific URL for the individual page to their friends. So the UK travel videos page on that website is simply destinationguide.tv/UK. Europe travel videos/Europe. So try and structure your URLs on your website in as simple a way as possible. It's possible to use something called mod rewrite on your server to actually change the URL structure no matter what database you're using. If you're using some kind of content management program, you can still dynamically change the URLs on your website. So it's good to get the URL structure right to begin with. Number 7, don't link to the same page in 2 different ways. I can actually link to the home page if I wanted to in this website using www.destinationguide.tv, using /index.php with www. Not using www, and actually the bottom option as well, destinationguide.tv/index.php. However, that's diluting the impact I'm potentially having with search engines, and I could be telling search engines that that is actually 4 different pages, and search engines might have issues with actually determining whether or not it's the same page or not. The only way you can protect yourself and ensure that search engines are told it's the one page, every link's pointing that page, you're getting more strength in terms of links to that page, is just by using the one URL format. A lot of companies make the mistake of actually including a /index.php or a /index.html in the link to their homepage, because index is by default telling browsers that that's what the homepage is. But you don't need to include that in your links, and if you do, then again you're dumbing down the effect of your search engine optimization. So just the one URL format. And then finally, use what's called no-follow tags where appropriate on your website. There are lots of web pages, I'm sure, on your site that you don't necessarily want people to find in search engines. You've maybe got terms and conditions, you've maybe got disclaimer, about us, contact us. There's no point in people finding these pages first. And you should use what's called a no-follow tag within your URL to actually tell search engines, don't bother to rank this web page. So if you're using that no-follow tag, they're not going to rank those pages, but they're also going to pass more juice to the other pages on your website and count more relevance to the other pages on your website. So remember to use that. Okay, so that's week 3, site architecture. Having a look at behind-the-scenes coding, making sure you get that as efficient as possible so search engines know what your individual pages are about. Your navigation structure, making sure that incorporates keyword phrases, but also as logical as possible for users. And also, it breaks down. You click on one category, you've perhaps got more subcategory links underneath that, but you're explaining to search engines where individual pages fit in within your website. And then finally, on-site optimization, basically where to put your keyword phrases.